What is up, everybody? It is Matt hanging out with you with Morning Hookah. This is going to be a fun-filled show. I have some awesome guests that are going to be joining us for this episode. We're going to be doing an in-depth dive into, I wouldn't necessarily say a controversial bowl, but definitely a bowl that has a little bit of a conversation happening around it. And honestly, I don't believe that the conversation happening around it is enough of a conversation, because I think that, one, it was a little bit written off early, and I'm not saying that the bowl should or shouldn't be written off early, but I feel like it was written off early to the point where it's going to hamper and hurt the innovation of hookah, because too often do we see things come into the market and then very quickly written off without any sort of like dialogue really behind it. And I brought on some people that I trust, some people that I've already had very good conversations with, and people that I know offer a type of dialogue that is going to benefit hopefully the people that are behind the bowl, if they're willing to listen to some of the things that are being said about it. I think that it can just offer a lot of really good conversation for it. So there's a lot of questions to it. There's a lot of information that we're going to be talking about. We're going to spend a lot of time on the Gemini Bowl, but we're also going to talk about bowls in general as well. We're going to do a small interview. My guest is going to be Paul Silao. You guys know him from Hookah University, the community on large, just a all-around good guy. And then we also have a guy named Bobby Robert, whatever you want to call him. Just put some respect on the name, because the dude is very smart, and he's a huge hookah enthusiast, and I think offers a very calming type of a mindset in terms of what it is that he believes, and he's very willing to defend it, and then also give information about the way that he feels. He's not just like, well, I'm right and you're wrong. He's trying to sit there and be like, well, this is why I think that this is the more the approach that I go with versus maybe the approach that somebody else goes with. So I think there goes my kids. The Google tries to sabotage me, but not this time. I just mute you, Google. Don't talk to me like that. Anyways, we're going to be starting very soon, so I just wanted to jump on and say, hey, we'll be back in just a moment. And yeah, if you have not already, make sure you like the video, share the video, and drop a comment and a question. If you have any questions, please drop a little question mark in front of it so that we make sure to see it, and then we'll be able to handle that question a little bit for you as well. But as of right now, we're just going to be going live here in just a moment, just getting some final things done in the background. And then after we're done with the interview and after we're done talking about the Gemini Bowl, we have a really fun game. I'm like super excited to play this game because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we have two people that we need to come up with a fun and interesting way of punishment for one of them when they lose, because one of them is going to lose. So we need to come up with a punishment for Paul or for Bobby. So yeah, we'll be getting started here in the next 5-10 minutes. So just stick around, hang out, let us know in the chat what you're smoking. And yeah, we'll be right back. Welcome to the Morning Hookah Show, the show in the morning that is all about hookah and more. We like to talk about the industry, the world of hookah products, how it's made, and who makes them. The morning show is live every Saturday morning, either 8 a.m. Central Standard Time or 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Today, a little bit later, I got some early guests that I didn't want to have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn, so we pushed it just a little bit with a new topic every morning right here on youtube.com/morninghookah. I am the host of this adventure, Matt. I've been smoking hookah for over 10 years, working in the industry as a reviewer, product tester, personality, and a host of Russian-based hookah battles. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited for today's episode. Let me first welcome the first guest that we have on today's episode. This week, I do have a very special guest joining me, the one, the only Paul Silao, someone that I am lucky enough to call friend for many of a year. He is the admin of the very popular Hookah University, someone who has been a constant contestant of the hookah battle, as well as the winner of the hookah battle as well. He cares about the community and the industry and is helping to fight and save hookah all the time. Thank you so much for joining me this week, Paul. I got to ask you, how are you doing?
It's really early, Matt, and I haven't had coffee.
You should have made yourself some coffee. Why didn't you make yourself some coffee?
I'm doing good. I mean, we got freaking dark cider in our bowls, and I'm getting ready to smoke. I'm talking with my homies. It's pretty good.
Speaking,
could have used more sleep, but morning hookah. I mean,
it's in the name.
It's in the name.
It's in the name.
As opposed to AM hookah.
Well, I mean, that was different. That was actually based upon the fact that it was a lot of people.
It was Adrian and Matt.
It was Adrian and Matt.
I picked that up on season 3.
Yeah,
by the way, I never had the guts to ask why it was AM hookah and you guys were doing an evening show.
Yeah, but it made sense at the end of the day, sort of, kind of. Anyway, so speaking of the homies, we are joined by another very special guest. You can call him Robert, you can call him Bob, whatever you decide to call him. Make sure you put some respect on that name because he is, in fact, somebody that cares a lot about the hookah industry as well and a very good person to talk to about this kind of stuff. So I want to go ahead and introduce him now. Bobby, Robert, however you want me to call you. In fact, the only thing I won't call you is late for dinner, but thank you so much for showing up to today's episode of the Morning Hookah Podcast. How are you doing?
Doing well, sir. Happy to be here. And yeah, dude, like you said, call me whatever you want. I'm Robert Shields. Everyone in the groups, at least at the upper levels, knows me as Bobby Lee. But I'm really happy to be here and excited to talk about this. It's long overdue. We've been planning to do this, loosely since last year. Crazy. I'm glad it's finally happening.
I am too. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Oh no, I for some reason have 2 images of Paul and no images of Bobby in our
double the Paul,
double the fun.
Yeah.
And of course something like this would happen. There's not a show like this show unless it's technical difficulty show. So in the middle of us chit-chatting, I'm going to quickly magically, don't look anybody, nobody sees this at all happening. It just a wild
cinema,
a wild Robert appears basically. There we go. Now we have all 3 of us in frame on this pretty nice looking graphic. I think this looks pretty nice, actually. I'm pretty happy and excited about it. So what is the plan for today? If you guys have a question in the chat, make sure you just drop a little question mark in front of it and ask that question if you want to. But on today's episode, the plan for the show is going to be to do a small interview with Robert and with Paul. We're going to talk about the topic, which is all about bowls and spending some extra time on this little bad boy right here, the Gemini bowl. And then we're going to have a game, and this is going to be fun. I'm very, very – you guys – anyone that's been watching my show for a little while, what is up, J-Rock? Good morning to you. B-Lou, my main man. Pops and
man,
pans.
B-Lou.
Feels good to be able to say that out loud like that. We're going to play a game. People know me. Paul, you know me. You know I enjoy to play a little bit of a fun game every once in a while. And I think this is going to be a real fun game. Between the two of you, Robert and Paul, we're going to need to come up with a punishment. I don't know what that could be. Paul, do you have a dried tomato from WTO?
I do.
Robert, do you have dried tomato from WTO?
Dude.
I think this is up to you.
No, I don't. No.
This is up to you. I think
I have some terrible flavors from WTO, like salmon.
I think you guys smoke what you believe to be the worst flavor in your collection for Alive. If you lose.
Oh my god. Okay, well, it's not WTO.
What's the worst flavor?
Yeah.
Do you have bacon?
Bro,
I don't have
have
any bacon. I have salmon, but that's also not the worst flavor in my collection.
What do you believe is the worst flavor in your collection?
Cashmere, blue.
I think that there's enough people in the community that likes that flavor, though.
Yeah,
You know what?
They have bad opinions.
I think that yes, the loser, the winner, and Matt have to choose the flavor. It doesn't matter if you think it's the worst or not. And I think that each of these flavors does have its application. But yeah, you guys,
here's
the
what I would
winners
like
get to pick.
Here's what I would like. As the punishment, you have to do a review of that flavor that I will post on Morning Hookah.
I already did one. Okay, fine.
Sound good?
Deal.
All right, sounds good.
We'll conversate. It's going to be something more exotic.
But here's the thing.
than
I don't think
Cashmere
they're
Blue.
making that flavor anymore. I might have the last batch of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
Hey,
we'll do
Blue?
something that's a little bit more than just Cashmere Blue. We'll do like salmon or dried tomato or maybe red chili. Because
dried tomato, I also don't think is bad.
I'm going to use you. I'm going to use you to review a flavor that I'm probably never going to review myself on the channel. So I'm just basically getting free labor from you guys. That's my real plan right now, is just to get free labor from you guys. That's what I'm doing. All right.
Okay. All right. Free labor.
I'm into it.
Make sure
free labor it is.
Make sure you drop a like on the video if you're enjoying it. Make sure you share the video with other people that you think would also enjoy this content as well. We're a live morning show. I'm here every single Saturday morning, as well as content throughout the week. And you can find me on Instagram at instagram.com/morninghookah. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the interview, because I want to do a quick interview with you guys. And what we'll do is we'll do Paul first, then we'll go to Bobby and stuff. Pretty simple things. Obviously, Paul, you've been around for a very long time. You've been on shows that I have done. I have interviewed you more than one time. I might know you better than you know yourself at this time.
I doubt that.
I do doubt that too. but
yeah,
we are going to do a little bit of an interview. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off right now. Paul, my first question to you is, who is Paul? What is a little brief smoker story of you?
Me? He's some dude that runs a hookah group on Facebook, and he likes to smoke hookah and do Facebook lives and tell people about flavors and stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. That's a good
kind of it.
Yeah, that's a good brief description of you. How long you been smoking for?
18 years.
18 years. What are you smoking at the moment? What did you decide to load? What hookah are you using? What's your setup?
Let's do the whole enthusiast setup. So I did I'm smoking out of a MIG 3.0 premium. I have a Hookah John Soso 2 hose with a Spire hookah mouth tip on it. I'm smoking out of a out of a Kong lava bowl, the black, orange, and yellow one, V2 or V3. I mean, it might be a V4 to be honest. A Lotus, 3 Cocoa Earth cubes, 1 canted to the side, and in the bowl I have a fluffed Dark Side Supra and Dark Side Cola. Dark Side Supra is a jasmine tea kind of flavor, and Dark Side Cola is cola. So I'm getting a cola with a little bit of jasmine hint and twist into it. The mix was actually given to me by Bobby.
Wow, that is definitely a pretty interesting sounding mixture. I would definitely be willing to give that a try. Let's go and ask Bobby the same thing. Bobby, who are you? What is your brief smoker journey story, and what are you smoking today?
Yeah, I'm Bobby, big hookah enthusiast. Been smoking probably about 18 years as well. I actually need to post a picture from my memories around Christmas from like 2005 or something with a Maya, one of the old my first rigs. It was a group rig.
Yeah.
But crazy flashback. But right now I'm smoking out of the Union Sleek Standard, the Paduke, the Redwood. I don't know if that's how you say that. Someone correct me if so. And in brand or on theme for today, I'm smoking out of the Gemini bowl.
Ooh.
And I like to smoke blondes out of it, preferably, and we'll get to that. But I'm doing my old Rocket Pop mix. So I got some pure cherry in there, some Social Smoke blue raspberry, and some lime lit. And, relatively equal parts.
That is a very interesting mix. You are literally spanning the generations of hookah all in one bowl. You're smoking
Absolutely.
pure. You're
Yeah.
smoking social smoke. You're smoking
Yeah,
Yeah.
eternal smoke. Like that is literally going. You
Crazy.
said you've been smoking 18 years.
Years.
Your bowl
Yeah.
could be called the 18-year-old bowl in a way. All you need is a little bit of
Absolutely, yeah.
Starbuzz in there, and you'd really be just kicking all the nostalgia notes. Honestly,
Absolutely.
I'm smoking with my Spire hookah. I'm using 3 of the Prestige Jumbo Flats, the sponsor of the Morning Hookah. Thank you so much, Prestige, for sponsoring Morning Hookah. The Jumbo Flats are my coal of choice, and the one that I use most often, they are the coals that keep our bowls smoking hot. They're what I really like a lot. And I am using a mix of something that I've really enjoyed a lot, Must-Have Pinkman, mixed with Must-Have Cranberry, and then I'm all out of Must-Have Frosty, which I really, really like their Frosty flavor. So instead, I threw in some Azor Alaskan Ice. I really like Alaskan Ice a lot. So I think it's a very,
nice.
I think it's a very, very good flavoring. It's not just purely a cold flavor. There is a little bit of sweetness in there as well, but it is a good
Smooth.
cold flavor. It's not like knock you on your socks cold where like, Supernova is hard to smoke or Morose is impossible to smoke on its own or anything like that. But Alaskan Ice still has that really nice cooling effect to it. So, let's get back into the questions. Paul, let me ask you first. What is it that you like to smoke? How do you like to smoke? Are you someone that likes to smoke hot? What is it you like to smoke?
I don't like to smoke hot, so I like to keep the temperature like at a pretty medium level. But how I like to smoke is dependent on the tobacco and kind of what I'm feeling that night or that day. If it's a Tangiers night, do I want it fluffed? Do I want it traditionally packed where it's like semi-dense? Do I want it layer packed, side to side, etc.? And that will play into like what coals I'm using as well, how the configuration, the whole shebang. Lately, I've been smoking a lot of Russian tobacco. So Russian tobacco for me needs to be packed in an eggy. That's just my preference. Other people disagree. Other people pack it a different way. But Russian tobacco to me is synonymous with classic eggy style bowls with a lotus on the top and 3 to 4 coals. Either Mickey Mouse ears configuration or a half Mickey Mouse ear configuration. And that's kind of how I run things lately. Like
Okay.
if I want a no hassle, like I need to pack a bowl in like 2 minutes so I can get back into gaming with the homies on Discord or whatever else the case may be. It's going to be Russian tobacco. I throw it on top of an eggy and rock some coals on it. Half Mickey Mouse configuration most of the time.
Very nice.
And then enjoy the session.
Very, 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 very nice. Bobby, same question to you. How do you like to smoke?
So yeah, I definitely like to smoke hot.
No
I'm a member of 4 Coal Gang, and I'm sure we'll get into this too, as is relative to the Gemini. But I typically am smoking Russian dark leaf almost exclusively. It's rare that I have blondes in a bowl these days, and I'm also, even though I do smoke all sorts of ways, so I do enjoy foil and a provost and whatnot. I'm typically using a lotus or an inwin on an eggy. And because my sessions are typically mixed between several, darker or stronger brands, so it'll be like Tangiers, Dark Side, Satir, things like this. I typically go with a semi-dense donut. I'm a donut pack and fool, and in an eggy and 4 Coal Game Mickey Mouse configuration, and so I say it's like a choo-choo train. I'm just chugging. So my sessions don't normally last very long, but they're incredibly flavorful and massive cloud output. That's how I like to smoke.
Very nice, very nice. So it seems like there was a small minor issue when I first started the stream. For some reason, it kicked me off. I must have lost internet for a second or something. So some of the details of the show did not get entered correctly. So if you could refresh your window when you're watching the show, because then you'll get all the details that are inside the description. And the description is really important on this episode because I am giving away a Gemini bowl. And the Gemini bowl that you can enter, there's a link for it that is right below inside of the description. There is a raffle site that you go to. You just click on that. You follow the directions of the and now it says, where are you? But feel free. What? No, I need the correct. What the heck? Oh, man.
Yeah, I was just going to say your link's not working, but it
not
refreshed
working?
automatically.
Oh, did it? That's good to know. So I guess you don't have to do that. Let me, installation. Let me get the maybe it updated the the what's it called? You know what I'm talking about? The thing.
The website thing.
The website thingamajig, because it looks like it cut it off a little bit. So let me update
Oh yeah,
this
It's
link.
definitely cut off.
Let me update this link real quick. I'm gonna hit save on it, and then hopefully that updates as well. And then you should be able to just click on that. And once you click on that, let's see. I'm gonna refresh my own page real quick to see if that works. I'm gonna click it again, and it did work this time. So go ahead and click on the link down below, and that'll take you to a raffle cofter. And then once you're in the raffle, I'll be giving that away in about 6 days. And if you're the lucky winner, I will reach out to you and let you know whoever the winner is of the Gemini Bowl. So let's go ahead and get back into the interview real quick. Foil, Provost, HMD. Paul, how do you like to smoke when it comes to that?
What? Say that again. Sorry, I was clicking on your giveaway stuff.
Foil, Provost, or HMD?
Again, depending on the bowl that I'm smoking and the tobacco that I'm smoking. So all of the above, I prefer. It's really dependent, man. Funnel bowls is Foil and Provost to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the go-to. Blondes, I can smoke those on an eggy and a funnel, so it's really one or the other. But funnels, Foil, Provost.
Okay.
Eggies, HMD.
Okay.
If I'm gonna put a rule of thumb to the way my methods are, that's it.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that it does kind of go to whatever it is you're smoking or the type of stuff that you're smoking. I definitely enjoy using something like Alfaker. I use that with my HMDs more than anything, but the majority of times that I smoke, it's definitely Foil and Provost for me. But I do think there are times to use something like an HMD for specific either bowls or even types of tobacco and stuff. So I definitely see where you're coming from with that. What about you, Bobby? Do you have a preference of how you like to smoke when it comes to either Foil, Provost, HMD, or just Foil all by itself, like the true old school smoker that you sound like?
Classic. Yeah, I was doing straight Foil for a while with Tangiers, but I'd say it's a mix. I agree with Paul. It depends what you're smoking and what you want your session to be like. But I go through phases. So I was on Foil for a while, and then I was on Provost and Foil for a long time. Over a year was my preferred choice. But these days I'm back to HMD. It's kind of like come full circle since the first Lotus dropped, and I was using that like crazy. I'm using a Lotus or an Inwin these days most of the time. I'd say 90, certainly upwards of 75%, but maybe even up to 90% of my sessions are an HMD.
Is there a preferred HMD that you feel like doesn't get enough love when talking about HMDs? Is there an HMD that you like?
Exactly what I was going to mention.
That you don't talk about? The Inwin? Is that what you said?
It's the Inwin, absolutely.
It's the Inwin for me too.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
absolutely.
Yeah, for me too.
Paul put me. I have to admit, Paul put me on to Inwin. Maybe like 2 years ago now, something like that. And as soon as I smoked it at his place, I was like, dude, I'm getting this. Got it. Ordered it the next day. Came really quickly, and it's been almost. My Lotus One Plus nearest is loaned out right now to a fellow enthusiast, Jason Yoon. And so I've been exclusively smoking out of the Inwin as far as HMDs go, and it's just a banger. I don't know how available it is. It was a low runs on the batches, but everybody should check it out. And it does not get enough praise. And I know Paul feels the same way about
I
that.
feel the same way.
What is it about the Inwin that's different than other HMDs?
To be honest, not much. It's such a simple design.
Okay.
But specifically the V2 Inwin hit a home run for me.
Right.
The V1 had some issues with it. I had some heat retention issues. I mentioned it in actually one of my lives, and the guys contacted me right away, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna fix this." And I was like, "Okay." And then, sure enough, 6 months later, 8 months later, they came out with the version 2, and everything that I addressed on my live, they addressed and fixed. And then some, right? They corrected the lid a little bit. They made the penetrations and the width and the thickness of the HMD just a little bit thinner, but still retains the same amount of heat. Fits 4 coals, fantastic.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it doesn't get enough love. It's one of my favorite HMDs.
Can I chime in really quick, Matt?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, what's up?
Just to piggyback off of that, it's very simple. I mean, it's just it's a cylinder, very open. It has the raised ridges in a circle pattern throughout, as people might be familiar from the bottom of some HMDs like the Lotus One Plus, so that you keep airflow on the bottom, no blacking out. And yeah, and it's very thin and very clean, but its ability to manage heat and have good heat retention is impressive for just a thin looking aluminum HMD. And yeah, very straightforward, no frills. It can fit 4 coals in, 4 big coals, not jumbo, but some 25s without too much degradation, and really love it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tanner. Like seeing you there in the chat in the morning.
Tanner.
J-Rock says, I only smoke with foil. What do you like to smoke with in the chat, if you don't mind telling us? Are you somebody who likes to smoke with foil? Are you somebody that likes to smoke with HMDs? How is your smoking preferences when you do decide to light a hookah up yourself? Yeah. Also, if you're not paying attention to the chat, you can join in a heist, earn some bowls. If you did not know, bowls are the cryptocurrency that we use here. It's not cryptocurrency, so I probably shouldn't say that. Otherwise, I'm going to get sued by somebody. It's not a cryptocurrency. It is a loyalty point system that can be used for many different things, including getting some cool merchandise, and then also you can earn them by purchasing merch as well. You can I can't remember what the amount is per dollar amount, but you can get all sorts of really cool stuff. I'll be doing a video on that coming up shortly, so that you can learn more about the loyalty system, point system that we have here on Morning Hookah. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Let's go ahead and get into our main topic of today's episode. This week we are going to talk about bowls, all kinds of bowls, clay bowls, classic bowls, funnel bowls, and our main course for today's bowl conversation is the Gemini bowl. And I have some good news. Morning Hookah is giving away a Gemini bowl, and all you have to do to enter is just follow in the description the link right down below. Enter that, follow the directions in the raffle, and in about 6 days time I'll be giving one of these bad boys away. But let's go ahead and get talking about some bowls. Let's kick it off a little bit by talking about the Gemini bowl before we talk about some other bowls as well. What do you like/dislike about this bowl? Let's kick it off right away. Let's get
Matt,
into the main course. Yeah, what's up?
you have to turn on heist.
I have to turn. The heist is on. It says, "Ahoy! Matt has joined the treasure hunt." So the heist is up. You just gotta join it.
Did I spell it wrong?
Maybe you did.
Exclamation point.
HEIST.
Heist.
Use 10. I don't know what I
have to do the thing.
Yeah, you have to do the thing. You have to
The
say
thing, bro.
how much.
You have to how much the bowls. Yeah.
You got to do heist, and then I usually do 10. There you go. Yeah, that should be able to join you. J-Rock says, yeah, foil and coals. Very nice. All right, so when it comes to the likes and dislikes about the Gemini bowl, I'm going to kick it off a little bit. I like the innovation of it. I like the fact that they're doing something and trying something that is legitimate, unique, and different. I like the overall aesthetic and the design of it. I think it looks pretty cool. I think a case could be made that it looks kind of novelty like and such, which I wouldn't disagree with somebody, but I think when you get into this kind of innovation, I think most things are going to look kind of gimmicky at the beginning of it. The funnel bowl was very gimmicky in the beginning when it first got produced and stuff, but like it's obviously the standard for a lot of things now. I also like that it comes with this silicone stopper, and you are fully able to do half a bowl, and I feel like a half a bowl is honestly the way to go with this, because you're still getting a very full session. And it's still allowing you to smoke very well. I like that. I think it does allow you to save tobacco. I think you can get it to smoke. My main dislike for this is the fact that it feels like you have to take a couple extra steps to get into using it, either by waiting for it to warm up because it is an entire aluminum device, or just the simple fact that like when you choose to load this and then when you use it, you got to wait a little while before you handle it again. It's just a couple extra steps. It feels like. I don't know if I would say that means it's more extra steps than you should be willing to use to be able to set it up, but there is extra steps in terms of using it just in like a general sense. But what about you, Bobby? You're smoking with it right now. You chose to go ahead and use that for the actual bowl that you're smoking at the moment. So I want to ask you, like, what about you made you want to select that one? And then when you used it, or as you're using it, what are your thoughts on that right now?
Absolutely. So great question. As I mentioned briefly earlier, so I almost use it exclusively. Blondes, you can smoke anything out of it, but as I tend to do a looser pack with some bigger blonder leaves, It's really good for the airflow. The amount of holes in the bottom of the bowl are really nice for that. And I take the poker and just go through a little bit as well to make sure that there's just some nice airflow lined up through the leaves. And I will be honest, I even go as far as to say that I prefer smoking out of the Gemini than a funnel bowl for blondes, believe it or not.
Interesting.
In terms of flavor, it's really interesting. I think so. So the positives, you get a really clean.
I do think it is clean. I do think that it
yeah.
is a clean smoke. I do believe that.
Absolutely, and it's worth mentioning. Like I enjoy finding out different ways to smoke and trying them out myself. And I'm sure you guys are the same, even if it's not my preferred method. Like I said, my preferred method is dark leaf, juicy, very hot. And, this is in the realm and has been promoted by people who like to even, juice their tobacco sometimes, as blasphemous as this seems. And so sometimes you
You're
do
such
get a drier
TikToker.
smoke. I know, right? Absolutely. That's what's going on these days. But so it is a drier smoke. I think that's one of the things that a lot of enthusiasts don't like a lot. We like to smoke very wet, dark leaves, but it is a clean flavor. And the cons, I would say, to transition over to that are kind of the maintenance to some degree. Like you were mentioning the extra setup. And although the physical, meditative part of the hobby is very big for me as well, sometimes if you just want to get right in there and smoke, it is a little bit more of a setup process. And then, like you said, I think half a bowl is a banger in this, because otherwise, you're going to be rotating more often to evenly cook the tobacco, and that can be a little bit of a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of needing to worry about rotating the coals and stuff. That's why I think the half a bowl scenario works actually very well. Bilu said, when I smoke Tangiers, which is rare, I use foil and a Provost, but pretty much always use an Egyptian bowl and a Lotus version 1 because I mostly smoke Element tobacco. Rose
There you go.
Rose F. Def says, I'm a coal only because I have not bought an HMD. But this clay, I can't remember the makers that you gave away the prototypes. That was a long time ago. That was back in the AM Hookah days. I think he might have got one of Adrian's clay bowls from back in the day. I'm glad it's still rocking hot for you, because that was probably like almost 2 years ago that you won that bad boy. So I'm glad that you're.
That's probably a rare bowl now too. I think it's probably an alpaca mini rook or something.
It might be, actually. So that's pretty cool that he gave. You still are rocking that bowl, and I'm glad that you're enjoying that quite a lot. So yeah, same question to you, Paul. What are some of your likes or dislikes about the Gemini bowl?
So when the first time I tried the Gemini bowl, I was at Oasis Hookah Lounge, and I was smoking it with George Johnson, and Neve and Travis Leader, and a bunch of the crew, because we were there for a wedding that weekend. And when we first started smoking it, I was like, okay, let's see what the hype is about this bowl, right? Because it had already been out, people had already been talking about it. We tried it out, and I was like, hey, I can actually, like, it enhanced the Tangier's flavor when we were smoking it. The downside to that was you didn't get barely any smoke, like there were wisps, right? So in the aspect of, hey, does it enhance your flavor? For Tangiers, yes, it did. But for smoke quality wise, where I'm looking for clouds, it didn't do that for me. When I took it back home and started smoking with it, the same way I did the whole run, because that's what I do. I did the whole blonde leaf fluffed, juiced, not juiced. I did dark leaf, again, juiced, not juiced on the dark leaf. 4 coals, 3 coals, spun it around, didn't spin it around, that whole thing. See, like, where's the burning point of this thing, where it burns the tobacco, what's the best coal output for it, etc. And I did find that it smoked, and you can get it to smoke particularly well with blondes.
Yeah.
Just like both of you have said, the blonde leaves perform pretty remarkable on it, to the point where, like, you can't tell it's on a Gemini bowl, like the clouds were there, etc. But I do have negatives of the bowl. I have a lot of negatives on the bowl. For something that you're going to release into the market that is supposed to be innovative, and this bowl is innovative, don't get me wrong. there's nothing like it, right? Unless you're trying to compare it to like the old style dragon flip bowls, etc.
I was going to bring that up a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So the fact that you have to finick with it's more management than sticking than doing just traditional foil and coals, right? So like even to the most traditional aspect of what we do for hookah, which is just foil and coals on top of the bowl, it's more management than that. Like you're constantly moving the coals to try to find the right output for it. You're moving it back and forth. Once you find that sweet spot, it smokes pretty well. But then you get to a point where it's like, okay, the smoke's not coming in. What do I do? Do I move the coals again? Do I not move the coals again? So it's a lot more management than what it actually is. Also, it doesn't simplify what we're doing, right? Like there's a lot more nuances in to get the bowl to work correctly. With the silicone attachment in the middle, if you want to do a half bowl, I think that is, for me, not a good idea. Only because silicone over time will degrade and all this other stuff happens to silicone. So that's a part extra on a bowl that you have to replace. Where on traditional bowls, you would only have to replace a grommet. Now you have to worry about a grommet plus that thing. Cleaning it was kind of a pain in the ass. The tobacco will get stuck to the grates a little bit. It wasn't that bad, but a little brush, little maintenance, and it got it out. But the way to smoke it for me was very limited. I could only get it to smoke correctly if it was fluffed. I can't go in there and adjust the pack method and say, okay, now I want more tobacco in here. What do I need to do with it? Like do I want to put more compaction? Not more compaction, because if you compact it too much, you're not going to get any airflow on that bowl.
None. Because you are smoking literally from the bottom to the top. So you can't put too much compaction because the heat is just not going to get through as it goes into the tobacco that's in the bowl part of it. Like you can't get it all hot because it's smoking from the bottom to the top instead of through the top to the bottom as you normally pull your heat through it. This is really cool. I gotta throw this out there real quick. Rose F. Death actually said the clay thing, the disc. He is smoking with the alpaca clay disc on the top of his bowl, and it still has not broken. He's had this thing for a very long time. I'm like super impressed right now because that alpaca prototype HMD clay disc, like mine broke, Adrian's broke. I don't know many other people that have one. Obviously,
mine broke.
Paul's broke. Like you have a piece of prototype history in your collection, Rose F. Death. That is really cool that yours is still rocking strong as you're using it and stuff. That's really cool.
I was waiting for that to come out. I wanted one of those.
Yeah, he kind of decided not to after there was a little bit of a break.
They came out. I mean, I picked mine up.
Limited, right?
I picked mine up in the expo.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a novelty piece that he sells at like expos and stuff like that. It's not like officially out. Like you can't get it. Like
I didn't know that. I didn't know any. Like I guess I never researched it, but that I thought he had released it and it was like on the vendor sites and stuff.
Yeah, that was a really cool giveaway that we did. We gave away that clay disc. We also gave away a clay vase. I think who won that? Was it Eddie that won the clay vase?
I don't remember.
Man,
somebody did.
I'd love to find out who won the clay vase and if they're still using that. That thing was really cool looking. Let's get back into the Gemini bowl though. I want to talk about how it compares to other bowls, and we've kind of talked about this briefly already in a lot of ways. It is definitely a unique and different bowl in comparison to a lot of other stuff, but if we compare it like apples to something like the Egyptian bowl of yesteryear and stuff like that, it is similar in the fact that the way that you're packing it is kind of more of a fluffy, light compaction overall to how you're actually using it, but it does change the overall way of smoking. And it changed it. It changed it in the way of, this is a very our hobby in terms of smoking hookah. One thing that we usually enjoy about it is when we're using it when we set up our hookahs and we get kind of methodical about it. It's very ritualistic for us and stuff like that. This is definitely demands you be pretty precise with it and very paying attention to how it is you're smoking. I do agree with what you're saying though, Paul, in the sense that you have to pack by the bowl. You can't like decide how you want to pack. The bowl is deciding how you're packing, and that's something that I think takes a little bit of your bit of like choice out of the matter. And I think that kind of has a meaning for it, of one reasons why we might not really enjoy it all that much for that reason alone, honestly. Using it comparatively to something like a funnel bowl, you have options. You can do whatever you want with a funnel bowl. You can pack it heavy, you can pack it light, you can throw whatever you want in there. It's definitely, I think that there's definitely a case to be made for it. But if I'm choosing between loading a Mason bowl or loading the Gemini bowl, I definitely have to like decide the tobacco that I'm smoking first or something. I have to say like, well, I'm going to change how it is that I was choosing to smoke so I can use this Gemini bowl. Or if I'm loading my Mason bowl, I can just do whatever I want with it. I can just throw it in there. I can do whatever it is that I want. Like, how have you noticed it compares to other bowls, Paul, when you choose to either use it, not use it? Have you ever said like, I'm going to use the Gemini bowl tonight, and then decided like, but I kind of want to smoke this, and I can't really smoke this in that bowl? And that's
for sure.
Yeah. How's it compare?
Yeah, I mean, like you can't like I packed dark side in it because dark side is typically a super wet tobacco, right? Like it's super wet. There's a lot of juice on there. When you start smoking it, more juice comes out, right? Because the tobacco leaves are super saturated, and it started dripping all over the place. It's a very nuanced type bowl. So like for me, right, it's not my preference. But you got to also remember we're hyper enthusiasts, right? Our opinions, the way that we smoke, the nuances of the way that we smoke are going to be vastly different from the other 90% of lounge goers and the guys that smoke hookah traditionally into whatever they're doing. So you have that plays into a huge factor on the success of this bowl and the innovation of this bowl, because they're catering to a market that I don't think is us. Right? They tested it and said, "Hey, hookah enthusiasts, what do you think of this bowl?" And the outstanding voice that came out was, "This is a useless bowl for enthusiasts."
And I
right?
think that voice was a little bit loud in terms of kind of like
for sure
the conversation part of it, and that's something that I want to get into in a minute.
Yeah.
But I want to ask Bobby how he thinks this bowl compares to other bowls. What are some of the other bowls that you enjoy using? Do you have I have a rotation of bowls that I use. I usually smoke my hazy bowls first, then I smoke my alpaca bowls, then I smoke my Mason bowls. Like I definitely have like a kind of like a normal rotation. My 80 feet bowls go in there as well, and then I kind of move throughout what I have clean as I keep on smoking. But like, how do you feel this compares to other bowls, Bobby?
Yeah. So I agree. A couple of things I want to piggyback off of again, that are simultaneous pros and cons for this bowl. So like I said, I like the flavor out of this even compared to a funnel, but my typical bowl, I'd say my daily driver is a Big Mac's Wave Bowl clay eggy that I got from Paul. I actually borrowed it, and I just loved it so much. I was like, dude, let me just send you some money for this. He already had like 2 others, so he hooked me up with that one. Or when I go funnel, typically I use this unglazed stone. This is my favorite bowl. This is an OG of mine. You see, it's got lots of seasoning.
Wow, it's an unglazed stone bowl?
Unglazed stone,
Wow.
one of one. Yeah. I don't even know the last time Brandon made an unglazed. I'm waiting for it. I want to get another one.
It's cool.
But to the points I wanted to touch on really quickly that are simultaneous pros and cons. So like Paul mentioned burning briefly. I'd say a pro is that it's very hard to burn your tobacco in the Gemini. Even putting the coals as close, like, so if you're using 4, and this is the con, I think you need a lot of heat on this bowl
Especially
to get
to
it
start
smoking the way that you want. It's to start it, exactly. And so if you got 4 coals on the tray, you can't even get them close enough to touch. But like I said, this is simultaneously a con because it's a coal eater. Like in order for you to keep the bowl smoking at the temperature you want later on, especially if you're a hot smoker, you're going to need to load up some more coals. The coals dying down will very quickly impact the session. And I think this leads to the second point, and that is that while the flavor is good, I mentioned again, and Paul mentioned briefly too, it's a drier smoke, and I think that's what one of the big turnoffs for like the high level enthusiasts are. A lot of us smoke hot and wet, and we're used to those very dense clouds, that have a lot of moisture and syrup in them. And it's harder to get with this bowl. But like Paul mentioned at the end, I think that's the way that a lot of people like to smoke, is this cleaner, wispier, they're less critical about it. And as long as they're getting the flavor, I think the session's very enjoyable for them. A lot of us are cloud chasers. That's probably might be even my right after flavor. It's cloud output, so um, and that's something that's a little bit more difficult with this bowl. I will say this too. The last point I would make is that I highly recommend people utilizing their poker. And so even if you're packing dark leaf, poke through the holes to create some paths of ventilation, even on a darker leaf that might automatically be more dense of a pack, and it should help out a bit.
That's interesting. I like that. Moise, I don't know how often I can say this, but it's interesting. He's bringing up a really good question right now.
He did, yeah.
He
has a really good one.
This is very good. Gemini got a bad rat off the bat because of the dry your tobacco line and the burner mishap. Do you believe that there was any sort of clout given away from the Gemini Bowl and that name Gemini based on the mishap with the burner? Because the burner, I feel like, was pushed by a lot of people in a way that made it seem like it was worth getting, and then when certain people got it and showcased it, it was kind of very quickly said, this is not worth getting. This is not going to replace your current fifth pad burner style because it's just not as good as that. I do believe that a little bit of the negativity from the name Gemini came from the burner mishap a little bit. Do you guys believe that as well?
I do believe some of it came from the burner mishap, but I also, to the point, like when enthusiasts criticize a bowl so hard the way they did to Gemini, right? It's coming from a point of like, because enthusiasts smoke a certain way. Enthusiasts, like when we saw this thing, a lot of us have been smoking, like Bobby and I have 18 years in. Matt, you've been doing reviews forever, probably smoking close to 20, right, or more.
Jeez, I'm not 40 years old. Calm down.
I don't know how long you've been doing hookah reviews. The longest I've known.
A while, yeah.
A decade, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have reviews from you stemming back from the forum days. That's a long time.
There's some good stories from back in the day, that's for sure.
Yeah. There's some jokes that didn't age well. Yeah, for sure.
Don't cancel me. Calm down. Do you feel like some of the talk of the Gemini Bowl in like a general sense was overblown, and it put people off that may even enjoy the bowl? Like in Hookah University, we'll use that as the example. There's more newbie smokers than there are enthusiasts, because there's less enthusiasts overall in the world of hookah than there are people that are just starting. Do you think that some of the talk that was given was detrimental on our end, and it put people off that may have enjoyed it? Or, and this is kind of a bigger question, this is devil's advocate playing right now, do you feel like this bowl is a bowl that people shouldn't get? This is going to all go into this question now, is who is this bowl for? Are there people that this bowl could work for and should be purchased for? My opinion on that is I believe this bowl is very innovative, and I believe that it is unique and it is a different style of smoking. And I do believe that if you have a very large collection of bowls, if you already have stone bowls, mason bowls, hazy bowls, and all these other bowls, alpaca bowls, hookah john bowls in your collection, you're not going to do anything wrong by getting yourself a Gemini bowl. I think it's worth using, trying, experimenting with, and I do think that there is certain styles of smoking that it benefits and allows good flavor and even decent clouds and stuff. But who is this bowl for, do you believe, Bobby? Who is this bowl for?
Yeah, I do think there's a place for it. I also just reiterate, I'm really glad that you're doing this, because I do think that discussions like this need to happen, especially with the polarization that happens out of marketing and the response of the enthusiast community, and then the casual enthusiasts that is maybe less of they're a larger market, but they aren't as big of a voice when it comes to these things. And so I think that to go to your burner thing really quickly, I do think that played into it, but I also think that marketing and reputation is a very fragile and tenuous space, and because of things that have happened in the past in the hookah industry, I think people at the top of the enthusiast game are wary, have very polarized opinions. But I do think, coming to your current question, this bowl is unique and can be for people. I think it's certainly One, for the casual smoker that's really smoking mostly blondes and hasn't really experimented beyond a funnel bowl, get this bowl, check it out. We could talk about price point and what type of barrier to accessibility that is. But I think, if you were thinking about getting an HMD, this might be your next step. Definitely try to get the Gemini in your collection. And of course, if you're a bowl collector in general and you have all the bowls already, why not get this and try it out? But that being said, I'd just like to touch on the materials that you mentioned before. I think the materials are really good.
Yeah.
And I don't hesitate even to smoke wet in this bowl because it won't stain the same way that other HMDs will, at least around the stem. So if you're dripping, it wipes right off of the stem,
Yeah.
and I think that's a big deal because some of us, especially Paul, keeps his HMDs in really pristine fashion. You can't do that with even the Inwin or the Silver Lotuses. Once tobacco starts touching it, you're going to have marks there almost forever. Even if you're able to get it off with some Brillo or a steel brush, some steel wool for the main char, there will be discoloration. And that I found that is much harder to have happen the material, at least around the stem. When it starts dripping, it just drips right off. And so I don't hesitate to smoke wet, a little bit more of a cleanup afterwards. But yeah, so definitely for the casual enthusiast that's maybe looking to move away from foil, this would be a good direction to go.
This is an all-in-one heat management bowl. Like, you don't have extra parts or pieces to it. It has a nice silicone base to it so that you can put it onto any hookah without any sort of problem or issue and stuff, which is kind of nice. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah.
Who is this bowl for? Who would you recommend this bowl? Or first and foremost, would you recommend this bowl? And if you did, what would be the criteria for that for you?
So if I was to recommend this bowl to somebody, it would be probably for lounge owners that are trying to give their customers a unique or different or ultra lounge modern type experience. I think it gives it that because it looks modern. It looks ultra modern to some aspects, right? So like if you're in a club atmosphere or you're in a lounge and so you're sitting down, that might be for them. I think for the hyper enthusiasts, the guys that know what they're doing, the guys that have been doing this for a long time, this bowl is probably not for them. The test of time for the bowls or for any bowls, in my opinion, is if you're subconsciously when you're packing a bowl saying that, hey, I'm gonna go grab and use this bowl. How often during the year have I gravitated towards wanting to smoke out of the Gemini? Little to none. So this bowl for me is not my cup of tea, right? For the newer type smoker and they're looking for that we were all there at a certain point, right? When we started smoking, we were looking for the newest and coolest device, the newest experience to put into our bowl. So the fact that the bowl is hyped up to be this ultra great experience, I think is to be honest a little bit of a lie, right? Like because there's too much hype around products already, and this bowl has some of that. Regardless of whether this enthusiasts say that it's a good bowl or it's a bad bowl, if the sales are going and the sales are moving, who are we? You know what I mean? We're what 10%, 2% of the market. Like to be 100% frank and honest, our opinions on bowls and stuff are in the upper echelon of whatever we're trying to experience because we've been doing this a long time. This is like our hobby. This is our chosen hobby. We know it gives us cancer over time. We know it's bad for us, but we still do it. So that's why I think some of our opinions are so strong when it comes to the regards of new products coming out. It's because one, it costs money. Two, we know we're doing harm to ourselves when we're trying new products out and doing things. So like yeah,
that's a great point. That's a great point that you mentioned. I maybe have a question for both of you, Matt, if you think we have time for this. You touched on something interesting there about the health concerns. I think a couple of things. So one, the enthusiast opinion, I think the importance of this conversation, for example, is knowing where we are and knowing how much of the market we take up. And, I mean, companies don't necessarily need our sympathy, but it lends a different perspective when you think about the difficulties of marketing and continued customer consumption. You kind of understand why people come out of the gate swinging with advertising and pushing products. Of course, we've been disappointed before, so that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be wary. But I think another aspect of this is the health one. As I mentioned, it's all really self-aware, and we know this is a bad, impacts the health negatively. But there is still room in there to work. And as I mentioned, it's hard to burn tobacco in this bowl.
Mhm.
As a member of Four Coal Gang, reality is the hotter that you smoke, the more carcinogenic things, chemical compositions emerge in a session. And so there is something to be said. I think this is where things like juicing and then baking even further away from the tobacco have serious implications. Now, I don't know the science of this. I think it will emerge in the near future, hopefully. But cooking the tobacco this way at a little bit lower or a little bit further of a distance, it really prevents you from getting into some of the upper ranges of heat and things that can be even more harmful. So another consideration, not only for the casual consumer, but I would wager that it's a bit healthier to smoke with a device like the Gemini. To what extent, I can't say, but that's something's worth
for sure.
considering, and I wonder how much you guys have thought about that. Yeah.
I thought about it a little bit. I mean, I'm conscious about what I put into my body. Like the more so now that I put on a little bit of weight and I'm trying to like get it down. But
Sure.
the lung health and all this other stuff. Like so, like when I'm smoking tobacco, it's very purposeful. When I'm trying to what I'm putting in my bowl, what I'm trying to choose, like I try to do as much research as I can about the tobacco, about the brand. That's why I like to know whether I'm smoking a Virginia leaf or a burley or whatever else, right? Like it's important to some enthusiasts on that aspect. I think so. Like what you're the materials that it's made out of is important to enthusiasts, etc. I do think, like, again, I think the Gemini has a place in the market. I think it's a good first step to whatever V1 that they introduced. There's some improvements that they could make on it for sure. I don't think it's a product that deserved all of the hate that it got because it does function. It does
work.
function.
You can.
It does function. Yeah. You have to learn how to use it, of course, but that's with any other device. And with a brand new experience that they're trying to advertise, people are gonna have to. There's gonna be a learning curve on it, and it's one of those things. Like I don't know if a V2 of this is gonna do as well. I think the criticisms are out there for the enthusiasts already.
Right.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, it was a cool device. I think there is a place for it. Like I said, with like hyper exclusive lounges, like maybe in Las Vegas, where they're trying to give like the people that don't smoke every day an experience of just like, hey, this is a cool device that we use to smoke tobacco.
If I showed up as like a newbie in hookah and I went to a hookah lounge and this is what showed up on top of my hookah that they gave to me, I would think that was really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
Cool. I that's what I'm saying. It looks more cool than it does chintzy. I do believe that.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Because like if you're brand new to the hobby and you're just experiencing it for the first time and you see a device like this or like something like ultra modern, right? Like you're smoking out of a glass hookah or a shisha box or something, you're gonna be like, oh, this is cool looking, man. Like this is I didn't know smoking was like this. It gives you that experience that's unique. So yeah, I think that's where it belongs.
And I think we agree. You just touched on it right there. As some in the enthusiast community, if not a majority, might think that the marketing or the push for the product was overhyped. I think the negative feedback was the hate was unnecessary as well. It's just this pendulum thing. It was exaggerated. It's this back and forth, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
True.
There's definitely a place for it, and But anyways.
The thing with that, it's an interesting topic, right? Because in enthusiast groups, in our Facebook group and some other things, that what people like to talk about is try to in Hookah University, in particular, we like to educate people on what products are and not really judge them by what they're smoking, but like how to enhance whatever device is that they're choosing to use and make it a better experience for them. And then if the conversation comes up, then you can say, hey, I like to smoke this certain way. Why don't you try it out? Instead of going in, saying that, hey, you're smoking like trash, that whatever you're doing right now is total and absolute garbage.
Mm-hmm.
That to me turns away enthusiasts instead of growing them and welcome them into the hobby. So if they're using a Gemini bowl, I'll give them a thumbs up, have a conversation with them, and then if the conversation leads to a certain state where they're looking for a different experience, then you go, hey, here's how a majority of the enthusiasts are smoking. Why don't you try it out? And then you yourself, as a brand new smoker, as a brand new enthusiast learning the hobby, can learn it yourself and then formulate your own opinions of what you like and what your nuances are, and how you prefer to smoke. And if you prefer to smoke the Gemini, then so be it.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
So
Like, so be it. Like,
going into
it doesn't deserve that much hate.
Yeah, going into our last question about this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pose as a normal, regular, everyday dude on one of the forum sites and stuff, and I'm coming to you guys. I'm going to ask you both individually, and I'm just going to ask you the question like, hey, I've been thinking about this Gemini bowl, but I'm not really sure about it. Like, what would you tell me if I'm asking you about the Gemini bowl? Paul, I've seen this bowl. It's called the Gemini bowl. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but I've really been considering getting it. What's your opinion of the Gemini bowl for me?
I mean, my answer to that would be questions on your preference
Ask
of
those
how you
questions.
like to smoke.
I'm gonna play the role. Ask the questions.
Okay, all right. So, how do you like to smoke? Do you like to smoke hot? Do you like to smoke a little bit of a milder smoke? Do you like?
Well, I've only been smoking for like about a year and a half, and I really like Starbuzz Blue Mist. It's like really, really good. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. It's like really good. Pirates Cove is pretty good too, but I really, really like the Starbuzz Blue Mist flavor, and I like to get like good sized clouds. Like I don't have to get like the biggest clouds or anything like that, but I really like the flavor of Starbuzz Blue Mist. I really like that. I don't think I smoke hot compared to some of the guys that I see with like four coals and stuff like that, but I do like to know that the smoke is there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How important is cloud output to you?
You know,
Like, do you like big fluffy clouds, or
it's-
do you want more
I
flavor?
think I like more
How?
flavor overall. Like I've had some sessions where like I don't get. I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I don't get like really big clouds sometimes. But I feel like the flavor is really good, and I really enjoy the flavor of Starbuzz Blue Mist. Have you tried Blue Mist, by the way? It's like really good.
Yeah, Blue Mist is really good. It's a
really-
classic.
I really like that flavor. But yeah, clouds are important, but they're not my go-to.
Okay. How easy do you want to prepare your bowl? Do you want a lot of management? Do you want to just set your coals, prepare your bowl, and kind of let it do its thing and enjoy your session for an hour or two, or do you want to constantly finick with it and then kind of play around with it
Well,
and
You know,
and
I've
stuff?
never. I usually stop smoking at like a half hour. I noticed that like most of my like flavor is like gone and stuff. So like I don't really smoke like a real long time or anything, and I just kind of throw the tobacco in there and just let it get hot and smoke it for as long as it smokes. I wouldn't say that I don't know what I'm doing, but I definitely like the easeability of just kind of getting up and going.
Okay. Well, and then so for you, my recommendation would be to start off with the traditional classic way of smoking hookah.
And that's what I'm
Grab
smoking
yourself.
now. That is what I'm smoking with now. So like I'm kind of interested in upgrading to this Gemini bowl. Do you think that's a good purchase for me?
With the price point of the Gemini Bowl and the knowledge that you have currently of smoking just a year, I would try to stay away from it. Maybe upgrade to HMD,
Okay.
and to give yourself a different experience. That way, that you can actually still use the bowls and your purchases that you've had throughout the last year, and give it a little bit more enhancement. It'll help you manage your heat a little bit better.
All right.
The Gemini Bowl is a totally different learning experience for you. You're gonna have to finick with it. You're gonna have to relearn what and de-learn what you had during the last year and change the way that you're doing things.
Okay, cool.
So if that's okay with you, Gemini's fine. It looks cool, right? It's
It does
very
look
unique,
really cool. I think it looks really cool.
but it's but it's also very hard to purchase when things break or things fall apart for it,
Okay,
right?
all
Because
right.
you have to purchase it directly from Gemini, or you have to find a vendor that has exclusive products just for that. So if
Okay.
you lose a silicone part or things like that, I don't know how hard it would be for you to replace it, as opposed to having something more traditional.
Okay.
Any of the vendors are going to have that,
All right.
and you guys can replace it. So it's almost like you're buying something kind of custom, that you have to specifically target and look for.
Okay. Bobby, I'm gonna do the same thing with you. And you asked about having time. Bobby, don't worry about it. I don't have anything to do until 2:00 when the Titans are gonna kick the Bengals'
Nice.
butts. So we got plenty of time right now. But I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
know,
ahead
man.
and-
The Niners, I think, are going to go all the way this
I'm
year.
gonna maybe Titans and Niners. We're gonna have to do a party if that's the case, Paul. All right, so Bobby, I'm gonna do the same thing with you. Hey, Bobby, my name is Matt. I've been smoking for about 5 years now, and I really like smoking trifecta. I really like trifecta a lot, and I like Fumari. I smoke a lot of Fumari as well. And you know, I have a lot of bowls. I have some. I don't know if you've ever heard of a brand called Mason. I have a couple of those bowls. I got lucky. A friend of mine who's like a super big fan of like hookah and stuff. They helped me get one time. They used this bot device called Buy Me the Bowl. And yeah, I was able to get one, so that was really cool. Yeah, those are what I like to smoke, and I have a pretty decent size collection. But I keep hearing about this Gemini bowl, but I don't know like a lot about it, Bobby. Do you know anything about this Gemini bowl? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm smoking it out of it right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I would say, similar questions to Paul. I think you spoke to him recently. How important is flavor compared to the importance of cloud output?
Yeah. In the time that I've been smoking, I like big clouds.
Okay.
I don't not want to get big clouds, but I'll be honest, like my favorite part of smoking trifecta is how good the flavors are. And the one thing I like about Fumari is how it's really like a clean smoke. Like the flavors come through really nicely in them, and I really like the flavors that come through. Smoke's always important because I'm trying to show off to the homies when they come over, and I'm like showing them like, oh, check it out, I can do like
Yeah.
3 clouds at one time with my nostrils and stuff. So it's like really, I like to do the tricks and stuff, but I really like the flavors that come through.
Yeah, and based on what I was also hearing some of your answers to Paul's questions, if you're looking for just a 30-minute to 1 hour session, really good flavor and something is like a showpiece for your friends, and I would say even to some degree a similar level of heat management as going straight foil. In some ways, maybe even easier. You have all the coals on this one tray. You can just rotate them all at the same time. I would say this would be really good for Fumari, and prepare to go 4 coals at least to get the bowl started up right. I think this bowl might be for you. I mean, what are we talking about price point? It's like $65.
Well, I mean, I bought a
So
Mason bowl, so like I know I
exactly,
know
you have
hookah
the
costs money and stuff like that. So like I'm not too concerned about that as long as I can get it in my collection. And if you're telling me that like my friends will think it's cool, like I kind of like that too. I mean, I definitely want them to. Like I
definitely.
said, I do the nostril 3-ring circus, and I think that if I can make an impression with that, that'd be pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think this bowl might be something for you.
Okay.
I'd say that if the focus is not the session itself, so things like mouthfeel, it's going to be a less dense of a smoke cloud,
Hmm.
and a little bit drier on the palate. But if you're just packing a bowl and you want something cool for your friends to look at with good flavor, and you guys are going to be doing something else like talking or watching a movie, and not caring too much as some hyper enthusiasts we do, like, oh, this is really good, this is an insane session. Um, this bowl might be perfect for you. I think you just load it up, put coals on there, and pass the hose around while you guys do whatever else you're doing, and it looks
Cool.
really cool. Yep,
And I
this
don't
might
have to
be
use
for you.
any foil. There's no foil needed.
No foil
Oh,
whatsoever.
okay, that's awesome because like my mom upstairs, she was getting really tired of buying all those. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Don't cancel me for that, guys. I was just joking around. Somebody's gonna get real pissed off at me for saying that joke. I mean, they probably live with their mom, but that's beyond
Feel
the
attacked,
point.
right? Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
beyond the point. I'm just kidding again. All right. I think that wraps it up. Any final?
Hello, Matt. My name is Cinnamon.
How do
I
I?
just started smoking hookah
Oh
about
gosh.
2 years ago.
Okay. Yes. How can I help you, Cinnamon?
Uh, I want to buy the Gemini bowl, but I saw in the hookah groups
Uh huh.
everybody's using different bowls.
Okay. Okay.
I want to learn how to smoke the way that they're smoking, but I want to
Interesting.
use this bowl.
Oh, okay. What kind of tobaccos? Cinnamon. You said your name was Cinnamon, right? Right.
Yes, my name is Cinnamon.
Nice, Cinnamon. Hi. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I've heard from you. So my question to you
Oh,
is,
that's a different cinnamon. That
oh,
cinnamon's from Brazil.
well, you
I,
sound a
I'm
little
I,
more
I'm
spicy.
cinnamon from from Ohio.
Okay. Hello, Cinnamon from Ohio. So what kind of
Go
tobaccos?
Bengals.
What kind of tobacco do you? Well, now I don't care what you do. You know what? You can just load a bunch of Tangiers bacon in your bowl. I don't care. Just get off my street.
I
No.
I have been smoking Tangiers for
Uh
the
huh.
past year,
Oh, okay.
and I heard that it's very good with Tangiers. What do
Okay.
you think about the Gemini Bowl?
Well, you like to smoke
I
Tangiers.
yes, but
Okay.
it's I don't smoke it very well.
You don't smoke it very well. All right. What kind of? So, are you noticing when you smoke Tangiers normally with your current setup? Do you not get a lot of flavor, or do you not get a lot of clouds, or is it a mixture of both?
Burns a lot, like
It
my
burns.
lungs. I smoke and I take a puff and I go, ouch, ow, that hurts.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm assuming that the way that you're packing your Tangiers is kind of just like throwing it in there and being kind of fluffy and low compaction with it. Am I correct?
I don't know. What is compaction?
Well, compaction is when you like push the tobacco down. When you put your tobacco into your bowl, are you pushing it down, or are you kind of just letting it fall in there?
Oh, I smack it like there's no other day.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to recommend you the Gemini Bowl. And the reason why I'm going to recommend you the Gemini Bowl is what I want you to do when you get it is I want you to get it, and I want you to only use half of it. And I want you just to sprinkle the tobacco in there up to the rim. And then I want you to just to slightly push it down, not slap it against your butt cheek or anything. I just want you to slightly push it down. And then I want you to use 4 coals to start heating it up. And then I want you to drop down to the 3 coals. Just move 1 coal further away from it on the tray. And I honestly think this might help you because this allows you to smoke with heat on the Tangiers without it getting to the point where it's going to get too hot. If you're already not used to getting like really big, thick clouds or anything, I think you can kind of use this as a way to train yourself to enjoy Tangiers and then learn how you're packing it a little bit better. And that will allow you to have a little bit of a better session. So, you know what, Cinnamon from Ohio with bad taste in football, I think you'd probably be okay to get yourself a Gemini Bowl.
Do you
Good luck,
think that it comes in the color pink?
That's all the time I have for you, Cinnamon. Thank you for calling. Goodbye. All right. All right. That was fun. I like that one. That's going to be the clip of the week.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling, Cinnamon. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap
You're
it up.
welcome. Go Bengals.
That's gonna wrap it. Stop it. That's gonna wrap it for the Gemini talk. Yeah, that was a really good conversation. Thank you guys for being a part of that. I really wanted to have some different voices.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they have a V2 coming out.
Yep.
I'd be interested too.
I
interested
guess
to see what they would change.
I'll buy it since you bought this one. If they come out with a V2, I'll buy it, pass it over to you,
Okay.
and
right.
we can give it the proper review.
The Gemini of the traveling hands. That's good. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, dude,
Absolutely.
it's fun to do reviews with Bobby because like he's 20 minutes away from me. Like,
Yeah.
like I
We
got
just
this new
exchanged
tobacco. You
goods.
got to try it out. Okay, cool. I'm gonna save you like a half the can, and then it's great.
I'm only like
And then I'll bring
13
him by
hours
some
away from
stuff.
you. You know, you guys.
Yeah,
can
yeah,
make
yeah.
your-
You can come
Yeah.
over.
Why
you
are
can
we
come
going over
tomorrow,
to
man.
Matt?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I was thinking you guys come over here. I don't know about me going over
Okay.
there. You know, I've made that trip a couple of times, Paul. How many times have you made my trip? That's my question.
I mean, I haven't made a trip over there, but we both made trips to Vegas.
We have done that multiple times. It's always a good time to hang out with you. All right. So now we're
I don't
gonna
think you
get
made a trip to
into-
San Francisco yet.
Well, I was in the Bay Area for a little. Did we make our way to the Bay Area at all the last time I came
think
up
so.
and saw you in Cali?
That was Vegas. No, that was L.A.
That was
We
LA.
were in L.A.
And we never made it
LA,
to the
yeah.
Bay Area. I'm really bad with
No,
like
no.
geography and stuff like that, so I
Yeah.
don't know where
The
any.
Bay Area-
You got to get out to the Bay. You got to
All
get
right,
out to the
all
Bay.
right.
Yeah,
We'll-
there's some things here we got to show you.
We'll plan something out for sure. Okay, I got to grab my notes with my gameplay for this, and I think I saved them here. And if I didn't save them here, then I just got to go somewhere else real quick. All right,
This
so
is
they're
crab
not-
game. I swear to God.
It's not crab game. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited to play this game with you. The name of the game is They Told Us What It Is. Can we guess what it is? That is the name
Dun,
of
dun,
the
dun.
game. And this is pretty simple, okay? I'm going to tell you the description. These descriptions either came from the manufacturer or from a website. This either came from
Is
the
it
manufacturer.
the Gemini Bowl?
No. This either came from the manufacturer or from a website that sells this particular flavor. These are all flavors that I have for you.
We never talked about how they advertise the Gemini Bowl as something you can't taste coals on.
That's true, but we're moving on now. We're done with the Gemini Bowl. We're done with it. You can't taste coals. I think that is a true statement. Do you not believe
I think
that?
that's a
I
true
also think
statement.
that I was gonna say I also think that's a true statement.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a
right
true
on. Yeah,
statement.
we
Okay.
all agree.
So the name of this game, they told us what it was. Can we guess what it is? These are all descriptions. These are all descriptions from either manufacturers or from hookah selling websites. Each one of these are worth 2 points. If I have to give you a hint, that erases 1 point. And the hint that I will give you is the brand. You're trying to tell me the
Okay.
brand, and the name of the flavor. All right? If you can tell me the brand and the name of the flavor, you will get 2 points. If you can only tell me the flavor after I give you the brand, you will only get
It's
1
tough,
point.
dude.
And this is just based on the description?
Just based on the description.
The F. Okay.
I am so excited for this game. I think it's going to be a great time.
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to get any right.
You can play in the chat.
Dude, I'm worried too.
You can play in the chat. So get ready. All right, so let's go ahead and kick this thing off. What I'm going to have you guys do, if you can, just like immediately raise your hand.
We have to buzz in. Like
just raise your hand really fast if you think you know what it is.
Okay.
If you raise your hand, you have to take the guess right there. And if you
Gotcha.
lose the guess, then I will give the other person an option to try it for 2 points, or give them the hint and lose 1 point.
Oh shit! It's like Family Feud.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Cupine.
So our very first one. Our very first one. You ready for this? The description I found for this flavor is a masterpiece of orange flavors mixed perfectly with mint.
Jeez.
Once again, a masterpiece of orange flavors mixed perfectly with mint. All right, Paul, this is your first guess.
It's orange mint.
It is not orange mint. That is incorrect. Bobby, do you have a guess, or would you like me to tell you the brand?
Let me get a clue. Yeah.
Okay. Here's your clue. It is from the brand Ugly Tobacco.
Oh my god! I already know what it is. I should have done this.
You know what it is? I do not know my uglies, dude.
Take a guess.
All right.
Don't be looking on your computer. Get your hand off that mouse.
They all got crazy. Yeah, right. No, I'm not. You would hear typing. I'd have to type in ugly.
Do I get it back if he gets it wrong?
If he gets it wrong, you get it back. Yeah.
Okay.
And watch me get it wrong again.
Yeah, right. I have no idea
All right.
what it could be.
Just take a guess.
Double orange.
No, that is
That's
incorrect.
dangerous.
Thank you for trying, Bobby. Paul, what is your guess?
Orange Keef.
Orange Keef is correct.
Ding 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 ding
Ding ding ding ding.
Paul, you have 1 point from that. I'm going to write that down, Paul. 1 point for that one. So congratulations. Everyone understand how you play the game? Everyone good on this?
Oh yeah. This I think this is a give me 1 point game.
Yeah,
Here we
right.
go.
And I'll
Here's-
take it instead of trying to go for the touchdown
Here
like
is
the Bengals later.
Oh my goodness. Here's the next one. Number 2. This flavor is so tasty and cool, you will feel mythical. This flavor is so tasty and cool, you will feel mythical.
This is how they advertise this?
This is how this flavor is advertised.
This is like no taste or whatever. It's gonna be mythical.
You see why this is such a great game?
This is an insane game.
This is what I hate about these damn flavor names.
I know.
Because
That's
it can
why-
be anything.
That's why I'm
It's
enjoying
so
it.
generic.
Bobby
Go ahead.
is taking the guess.
I'm gonna guess that it's Azure. Was it unicorn?
That is correct.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Bobby.
Let's go.
Bobby getting
damn.
2 points with that one. That is a
You know what
unicorn.
my guess? Do you want to know what my guess would have been?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Fantasia, Dragon's Breath.
Man, wait till I pull out Fantasias in this game. That flavor description
I'm
came
not
from
ready.
that flavor description came from Hookah-Shisha. The Orange Keef one came from 5starhookah.com. I got this from all over the existence of the world and stuff. All right.
There's no mint in Orange Keef. but
Here's
yeah.
number 3. According to 5star, it is.
That's why I was confused.
Here's number 3. Here's number 3. They told us what it is. Can we guess what it is? The flavor description on this one. It's the North Pole in smoke form. Once again, it's the North. Oh, Paul has a guess.
Yeah.
I have a good guess. I mean, it's gonna be Cane Mint by Tangiers.
It is not Cane Mint by
Oh,
Tangiers.
shit.
It is not. Bobby,
North Pole.
This,
Yeah, so I would say, I would go with something like Alaskan Ice
Is
from
that-
Azure.
is that your guess, or would you like a hint?
Oh, right. I get a hint because,
If
okay,
you
yeah,
want,
let me
if you-
get a hint.
Okay,
Oh,
so
fuck,
the
I should ask
brand,
for a hint.
the brand is Trifecta.
Ah.
Shit. Okay, so would that be Death by Ice?
It is not Death by Ice.
Shit.
So now we go
Okay.
back to Paul. You know the
Peppermint
brand is
shake.
Trifecta. The description is it's the North Pole in smoke form. What is
Peppermint
your?
shake.
It is not peppermint shake.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
Now, do either of you have
Oh,
a final guess?
Yeah, I'll guess twice the ice.
Yeah, that's one. Next one.
So I'm going to leave this up to you guys. It is not twice the ice. It is
my
twice
God.
the ice.
The ice extreme.
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 Do I give Bobby the point for that, or do I
Yeah,
give
he still
nobody
got. I mean,
the point?
it's just
Okay.
the version 2 of twice the ice. Come on.
Yeah.
Bobby gets
I
the point.
appreciate that.
I'm
I appreciate that.
letting you guys decide. Bobby is leading the game 3-1. And
What? He
there's-
didn't get the last one. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did.
You
Yeah,
got
he
2
did.
points on that. There is 2 flavors left. There is 2 flavors
Okay.
left.
I
Okay?
demand a recount.
Here we go. This comes from the twice the ice one came from Hookah Shisha as well. Hookah Shisha gave me that one as well. This one is coming from the manufacturer's website on this one. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Take a walk through our vineyard. It's full of delicious, juicy grapes, sweet, refreshing mints, and ninjas. That's right. We said ninjas. Try it for yourself. You'll see what we mean. The description once again is, take a walk through our vineyard. It's full of delicious, juicy grapes, sweet, refreshing mint, and ninjas. That's right. We said ninjas. Try it for yourself, and you'll see what we mean.
Kind of have a guess, but I'm not sure. I want.
Go for it.
No, can we both get the
You have to raise your hand and ask for the hint. Okay.
I want the brand.
Paul, the brand of this is Eternal Smoke.
Oh, chilled wine.
Chilled wine is correct.
Very nice. Well done.
Paul, you got 1 point on that. This is now 2 points for Paul. 3 points
Nice.
for Bobby. This last one, if there's a tie, I really don't know what to do, so please one of you freaking win, okay?
If we tie, you have to smoke the flavor that
No,
we
I
said.
did
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
I did
yeah,
not
yeah.
agree. I did not agree
Yeah,
to
but
that at
he
all.
doesn't get the content.
because that is you guys could work against me purposefully just to make that happen. So that's not how this works.
Send them some bacon.
This
you know?
rigged for free work.
Yeah, right.
I don't think so. I'll just jump online real quick and get a sixth flavor if I have to. I should have just had 6. I didn't think that this would go like this. Anyways, originally I was gonna have Paul try to get 7 points, so I'm glad. I'm glad that didn't.
First of
happen.
7. Yeah, you're gonna need more questions, sir.
Need more questions at that point. All right. This is the last flavor description. This flavor description also comes from the manufacturer's website as well. Or no, I think I got it from a shop site actually for this last one.
Okay.
Drop site. Okay.
All right, here we go. It is literally the world's most famous tobacco flavor that features an unusual blend of blueberry with certain cooling effect mint. It's neither mint or spearmint. I thought I saw Bobby raise his hand.
I did, but then
You committed,
went
Bobby.
a different direction. Oh shit.
You committed.
Okay, I mean, the world's most famous. I mean, so blueberry mint, but you said a unique blend. So I have no idea. This can't be. All right, let me say blue mist.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
I think that's right.
That's correct. This is
Yo,
I knew that
let's
was
go.
This is Starbucks
Dude.
Blue Mist. I
Bro.
actually did this flavor just to help out with Paul when it originally just
I
came.
already knew. I mean, you saw my reaction. I already knew what it was, but Bobby raised his hand first.
Yeah.
Sure,
yeah.
dude. Like, listen. So you said the world's most famous flavor. I raised my hand. I was thinking it was a double apple of some sort. And then, I'm glad that I pulled that one out though, because I was like, it's like you committed. It's like, shit.
You committed. I love the description
Well, listen,
for it. I love it because it's just like that's the word it uses. It's literally the world's most famous tobacco flavor.
Yeah.
That features an unusual blend of blueberry with a certain cooling effect.
I mean, I think double apple would probably take that crown, but yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I raised my hand. But I'll say this though. I mean, look, we have 7 points between us. I mean, can we not cash those in for Matt?
Yeah, cash
Smoking straight,
Cash it in.
No,
tomato.
that is not how this works. I'm gonna need a review.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a review from Paul that I will post on Morning Hookah, and we got to talk about what flavor you review. I think you review salmon. Do you have steak?
WTO salmon?
Do you have steak?
Grilled salmon.
No.
The beef grill. The beef grill.
The beef grill. I think I tried it. No, I did try it. I don't have it.
I have it. I have it. You know, I brought all the
shit.
flavors over that time. Oh yeah, word. I'm sabotaging him. Oh, don't worry, I can bring it by. You know.
No, it's fine. I mean, like, I'll do a review on it if you want me to.
And you know what? You know what though? You know,
But the thing is, like, I
of,
like those gastronomy type flavors.
me
Like,
too.
it's like,
That's what I was telling
That's
Matt.
why-
That's what I was telling
That's
Matt.
why I'm
when he
glad.
I was like,
telling
is it
me.
really a bad flavor?
That's
I
why
don't
I'm
know. I
glad
don't think
you
so.
guys are the ones that are gonna do this. That's what I'm
Like, because
happy
Yeah,
about.
like people are like
in the-
salmon sucks. I'm like, dude, it's not
It's
bad.
pretty good. No, it's a
pretty
good
good.
salmon. I mean, you know.
It's
So
a
I'll say
good
this: I was
salmon.
telling Matt that before we got started. I was like, you know, Paul and I are into the gastro stuff. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, I'll join you on the
Ooh.
review.
Hell yeah.
I'll come through, especially if I need to bring by beef grill or something.
Yeah.
We'll throw
We'll
it
enjoy
together.
it with a smoked tri-tip.
Give me-
Absolutely.
So
You know.
just make that video whenever you have the ability to make it and send it on over to me, and I'll have that posted on the Morning Hookah channel. Make
yeah,
sure
let's do
you are subscribed to the channel, you like the video, you share the video as well, and enter to win that Gemini Bowl down in the description below for your opportunity to win a Gemini Bowl. There's 6 days. I will announce the winner on the next episode of the Morning Hookah Show. And yeah, that was a fun time. That was
When the Niners
was
win the
absolute
Super Bowl, I
pleasure.
will have that video ready
Get
for
out
you.
of here. Get out of here. I am.
I'll say-
go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
You're good. What do you got?
I was just going to say, my last little word here. People may have been noticing the clouds have gotten pretty wispy. I mean, it's been an hour, maybe a little bit
Hour and a
longer,
half.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I need a whole new round of 4 coals on here, no question. You know, in order to get it going again, I have to move it to the other side. So yeah, just take that into consideration.
I mean, my bowl's kind of dying too. So like, I mean, Paul just has
Yeah.
the
My
epic bowl.
favorite thing to smoke out of the Gemini, if I'm gonna smoke out of it, was Alfaker.
I think
enjoyed it.
Alfaker is a banger.
Not
in the
juiced,
Gemini.
by
I
the way.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, not juiced, not juiced.
All right.
I
well,
found actually the juicing aspect that they recommended. I found that it wasn't that great.
Rose F. Death says, I would love to hear about salmon. So you would make his day if you did
Yeah,
a
I
review
would-
on salmon.
I will let you know all about the salmon. I mean,
Awesome.
I can
Can
kind
we
of
do-
do the
can we
review
do a
right
little-
now, but
Can we add some like lemon and basil to that?
Yeah.
yeah, can we
Mix.
make it a gourmet feast?
Yes, please.
Absolutely, okay.
Please do.
Oh,
Very
dude,
good.
I have a mix for it. Can I tell you guys the mix?
Please.
Let's
I
hear
would
it.
love to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
about it.
Okay, so we did this as this was we fucked around with salmon a little bit just because we were thinking about doing something really weird for the hookah battle, right? So I messed around with some salmon flavors, and I found out that smoked salmon from WTO smokes pretty well when you mix it with wild forest and some sage.
Nice. Beautiful.
and
I'm
and
into
a
that.
little bit of the African spices. Like it smoked, like you had the because what happened was some of the fishy taste went away, became an undertone, and the smokiness of the salmon came out. So you had like a smoky berry with herbs,
I'm
like
into
coming. It was pretty legit. Like I liked it.
We did a little messing around with it at the Bay Area meetup when I brought
That's
all
right,
the
that's
flavors
right.
through.
Yeah.
We put some grilled salmon with some I think I did lemon and basil, but the berries that's a banger. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Dude,
this.
berries, lemon, that might be the way to go, man. With like
But yeah, dude.
with some juniper berries.
Yeah, with
Mm.
just one little note, we either do basil or sage or something like that. Put an herb in there
Oh,
as
this
well.
is gonna be epic, Matt. You don't know
This will
what's
be
coming.
lit. You
We're
know
gonna
what's
go
coming,
to
dude.
the gastronomy level of reviews.
For everybody that is still watching as we're closing out the show right now, I'm going to give everybody 100 points. So everybody that has been active
Hell
either
yeah.
in the chat in some way or everybody that's
Thanks for
watching
joining.
logged in and everything, you will
Yeah, this is fun.
get a free 100 points for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out with us and everything. So I'm going to add 100 points to everybody that is currently watching. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that a ton. And just being a part of the show and hanging out with us as we talk about the Gemini Bowl. I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I enjoyed creating the game, and I enjoyed your guys' responses. I think it's a banger. I think that I'll
Fun
definitely,
game.
Do that
I
again.
will definitely
No,
be
yeah,
using
that's
that
a fun
again.
game. Like we could have kept going for
yeah,
at
oh,
least
yeah.
like 10 more points or something. It
Yeah.
was good. It was a good one.
Yeah,
Very fun.
I was a little nervous when I was putting it together, but I was pretty.
I'm gonna send
happy
you
with it.
a flavor list that I received from a manufacturer
Oh.
with their flavor descriptions of their stuff,
That'd be
Nice.
good. That'd be good.
Add
so
to
you
your
can have
arsenal.
more.
Rose F. Death asks, is there a preferred site to get salmon? Sadly, salmon is one of those flavors that
Oh,
is
no,
available
yeah.
only overseas in Russia, and it's not
Yeah.
something that is like easily available here in the USA. I'll reach out to you, Rose. We'll chit chat a little bit
Yeah,
about
we'll
that
figure something out.
if you're
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah,
in
if you
salmon.
so it comes in such a little tiny container, of like 50 grams.
Let me grab one of mine.
Yeah, go for it.
Or even
And
25.
yeah, 20. Is it 25? Yeah, 25.
Well, you might have the bigger ones now, but the original, like the tasting board that I brought, those are all 25.
Okay, so
gram
25
little
grams
containers.
is the one that I have then.
Yeah.
You don't need more than
Yeah,
so. So with these bowls,
you don't need a lot.
you smoke it in
The-
a low capacity bowl, and especially with something like salmon, you
Yeah.
know, it's a mixer.
So-
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
This
we could
is
talk about
dried
it a little bit.
tomato. This doesn't
Like,
smell good.
have you spoken about WTO to people yet? So it's a very unique brand
I've
of
only
hookah
done
tobacco.
WTO tobacco on Instagram so far. I want to do a full episode of WTO tobacco. I might have you guys come back
Ooh.
on to do
Okay,
a
all right.
WTO
It
episode.
would be a pleasure. It would
that
be
would
a pleasure.
be that would probably be in my best of 2021. It was my brand of the year. I think WTO has become
right?
one of my favorite brands of tobacco, and it was definitely my personal brand of 2021. I really
I think I'm
enjoyed
glad I got to bring you some in Vegas because like you were happy about that.
I was
So,
I was able to
Listen.
make a small order for myself, which was good. So like I have a lot of stuff that I've smoked. I think now like over 20 flavors of WTO, and I
Yeah.
really enjoy.
Oh
it.
my
The
gosh,
peppermint?
WTO! I can't speak enough about those type of brands,
Oh, yeah, the
like the
peppermint? Oh my God.
WTOs and the Bonches.
Bunch is very
I-
good.
Yeah,
Listen, I got,
oh, man.
listen, it would be an absolute honor to come back for that. I think we're some of the biggest WTO smokers. I know
This side of the
Travis
US, yeah.
was putting, a lot of emphasis on it when it first came out. But yeah, I made sure to get the collection early on, and I got Bonch too. So if you want to do Bonch, let us know. We'll make it
Ooh,
happen.
Bonch. Yeah. Oof,
We'll plan
Bonch.
something in the near future. I mean, right now I'm smoking. We're smoking all
Yummy.
sorts of fun stuff. You're smoking Dark Side. I'm smoking Must Have tobacco. Like there's a lot to cover and a lot to still talk about, and we'll have a lot more fun episodes coming up in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching the Morning Hookah Show. It's live every Saturday at about 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I want to thank Paul so much for stopping by. Robert, Bobby, whatever you want to call him, put some respect on that name. The dude knows what he's talking about. Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
joining us here.
Can I do a
as well.
shout out match
Oh, please do.
or a small announcement? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So small announcement. For you guys know, I'm one of the admins for Hookah University. We recently revamped our Discord channel.
Ooh.
So our daily and nightly and weekly hangs, where you have video chats with with myself and some of the other gang members from the group, are now in the Discord. We are planning a couple of giveaways in the future.
Nice.
So, and it's going to be Discord exclusives. So,
Very
So
cool.
look out for that.
If you're not already, join on to the Discord. I'm sure you can find a link on Facebook, or you can I'll post a link on Instagram as well for the Discord server for Hookah University. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much
See
for
you
being
there.
a part of the show. Appreciate it as always, and we'll have some more fun times in the future. Until next time, well, keep on smoking. Bye.